Music was going to be a significant part of my life around 15, I'd say. When I started writing songs, I always played the guitar and I had a little 4-track and I would mess around at home. My music teacher at the time suggested, you know, why don't you guys enter a song competition and go record your song. And I got into the studio. I remember sitting in the live room and playing the guitar part and doing a vocal, coming into the control room to listen and sort of going, I'm not quite sure how that sounds, but wow. What's this? So I think immediately I took a liking to what was happening behind the glass as opposed to on the performance side. Projects that had left the biggest mark on me, definitely first and foremost getting a chance to make records with Katie Lang. She really opened my eyes. It boils down to essence and truth and authenticity. It really struck me that was her compass. And the way we kind of, the process of how we made the main record that we made, Watershed, it was all about that instinct. I think that experience struck me and shaped me in a big way moving forward, and also similarly working with Ayrton Moreira and Flora Purim. They are the same. They're all instinct. I mean, they've made so many records over the years with Miles Davis, Weather Report, Chick Corea, Herbie Hancock, and it was all instinctual. And so a combination of working with Katie and Ayrton and Flora, and that was sort of in the earlier days. It definitely set me on a path of what is it that I feel record making is about, what is production. You know, it shaped and informed how I view it today. The best thing is when you're not thinking, in a sense, that you're working from your instincts and really just trying to stay in that mode where you're responding to what's happening. Because ultimately when you hit play, when a music lover hits play on a record, it's about how it makes them feel, and it's that gut feeling that it gives you. So I think I try to stay out of my head and more in that instinctual part of, where you're reacting. But I think the main focus for me when I'm behind the board is the people. How are the people feeling in the room? What am I doing to support or detract? Without having to say a whole lot, I feel like the people I like to work with are able to intuitively feel what's needed. Sometimes it's knowing when to speak, and sometimes it's knowing when not to speak. There's definitely a little dance that goes on behind the scenes where you're maybe strategically shifting and moving things a certain way. It might not be quite obvious to people in the room. When you're setting up, you have a sense of what might work, but I love that moment where you go, okay, that's not quite translating the way you want it to, and try something else. And in some ways, accidents, happy accidents. Sometimes a mic has been moved during a break and it's facing the other side of the room and you hear it and go, that's amazing, let's keep that. In a lot of ways, I think most of what we do is hearing something that somebody else isn't hearing. Like, oh, did you just hear what happened when you hit that tom, and the spring reverb on the amp over there made a sympathetic, well, let's mic that. You know, to me, they're the most creative moments in the studio. When a record is made where in situations where everybody has been allowed and able to go with those instincts, that's for me when the magic happens. That they're the records that people go, oh my God, I don't know what it is about that record that moves me so much. And it's usually because the conditions in which it was made were ripe for that kind of emotional connection.
What's up, y'all? This is B.O.B.
This is G-Eazy.
I'm Mo. This is Julia Michaels.
This is Logic. Make sure you subscribe to the Recording Academy channel. Flex.